Hey everyone, as you probably know, we're in a weird sort of limbo between releases at the moment, so I thought I'd just do a video about something I've been thinking about a lot recently. We're on a different microphone today, we're on the Rode NT. Thanks Tyson for selling it to me. It sounds a bit different, but I'm going to do some audio processing anyway to get it up to scratch. The reason I'm doing this video is because I've kind of been thinking about this sort of thing recently. And it's just about what I don't like to say society, but you know, it is what society wants you to do, what they expect you to do with your life. So that's why we're here today. Now, just a disclaimer, I won't be commenting on more adult sort of things, you know, like what type of house you're supposed to get and what type of family you're supposed to have, even though there are standards for that. I know from an outsider's perspective, I'm not there yet, but it looks like everyone's supposed to just buy this big, nice house and work big hours. And, you know, that the only time they're at home is to eat, sleep, and clean the bugger. So there's another two I thought of, which are societal expectations, but they're more things that you actually kind of need. You know, like having a car, for example. If you're in a place that's not urban and there isn't heaps of great public transport, it's probably smart for you to have a car, or at least a way you can trust on to get around, because otherwise you're kind of useless. And, you know, making money. Is as much as I don't like the culture we have where we're just supposed to work and work and work, we can't really bend that until we're on top of the mountain and we don't have to work. So yeah, make yourself money. That's a societal expectation you kind of have to follow. But look, other than that, I've got it boiled down to, I think, six societal expectations that the world will try force on you, but you don't really need to follow. Number one is going to uni. Going to university is, of course, great if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, teacher, stuff like that. And so, you know, that's all and good if that's truly what you want to be. Earlier this year, I was in a relationship with someone. This girl. Shouldn't have done it, but I told her I wasn't big on going to uni. Now, in the current time, I probably am going to go to uni. But mid-year, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to uni. I mean, you probably know me. I produce music, and for a job, I tutor in music, make music, stuff like that. I've got a book coming on the way as well. And so to be a music producer, do you really need to go to uni? I don't think so. I think you can build on that yourself, just like writing. I'm writing a book, trying to get the book out. I don't think I need to go to uni to learn how to write. And she just couldn't understand that. She was like, but you need to go to uni. And I was like, and what do you do after uni? You have a family. Well, not in my world, at least. And basically the point I'm trying to make here is that people will say, you need to go to uni. You need to go to uni. Parents too, probably, if you're in that type of family. You don't need to. If you're not interested in going, don't go. If you don't need it for your career, just don't go to uni. It should be an obvious one, but people still get messed up about it. Number two is doing well at school. Now, when I say that, heaps of people probably think I'm like promoting some sort of bad world, but I mean, I think the stereotype is dying down. The stereotype that you have to go to school to be something. A lot of people are figuring it out more and more, especially I know the guys that want to be tradesmen and stuff like that. They'll leave school in year 10 and to follow being a tradie, you know. They'll leave school to go to trade school and they'll get their qualifications, their apprenticeship, all that sort of thing. And I think people are figuring out more and more that, you know, to be what you want to be, you don't have to go through school. Now, of course, education is one of the most important things in the world. If you can go to school, go to school. It's great to learn. But, you know, if you're set, don't go to school. If you don't need that year 12 qualification to do what you want to do, there's no point staying. And even if you do stay, if you don't need like an ATAR, that's what it is in Queensland. If you don't need like an ATAR of 90 or above for your course, don't try aim for an ATAR of 90. You're going to kill yourself trying. There's so many better things you could be doing if you don't need that super high mark at the end of school. I mean, was my ATAR super high? No. It was like 67. But I felt like I learned everything I needed to learn. That's just me. Everyone does things their own way. Point number 3, we're getting more into social aspects here. Number 3 is drinking. Now, drinking alcohol, it's kind of what you're supposed to do. Drugs go alongside this if you're in an area that's like that. I mean, not around where I live. I'm not in a kind of environment where it's like, you need a... No, it's not like that. But I know drinking, especially in other environments than the one I'm in, is pretty expected of you. Now, I'm not the type of guy that will force people to drink, but I will admit that when I'm at a party and I'm like, are you drinking? They're like, no, I don't drink. I'm kind of like, huh? And, it probably comes across really bad and makes them feel insecure. I try not to do that anymore. But if you don't enjoy drinking, don't drink. Honestly, it's not good for you. You do stupid things. And a lot of people wake up sick. And another thing kind of party related that I feel like is expected of a lot of people is to hook up with guys or girls. It's crazy. I mean, guys will come up to me, have you got with any girls tonight? And I'm like, nah. And they're like, oh man, chill out. I've done that enough. I mean, there really is no need for it. And I mean this more in a way of having sex with them, because I mean, I'm not a religious person, so I'm not like no sex before marriage, but I do believe in the fact that the more partners you have, the less special of a connection you'll be able to build with that one you want to spend the rest of your life with. So that's why I keep my numbers low, and I encourage you to do the same. I don't feel like it's good for our society. Hookup culture has just been built up so much, and it's not a great thing. I mean, I did some research myself. In the US, there's higher divorce rates with couples who have had more sexual partners. I mean, there's a trend line that shows that. So don't be persuaded to hook up with someone from the opposite sex when you don't really need to. If you're not looking for it, don't do it. And just generally with that drinking and hookup culture sort of thing, partying and clubbing is the next point on this list. Yes, I know a lot of it is targeted towards young people. That's kind of the person I am. But, partying and clubbing, it is expected of you. And I know a lot of people enjoy it. It's just when you're an introvert and they're like, why haven't you gone out? You want to spend time alone. I'm an introvert. I'm my happiest when I'm going for a walk with music, bloody fantasizing what my next album's going to be, how my business is going to be run next year. I've got a fucking whiteboard over there with an album I'm working on, and I love that thing. But that's just where I find my happiness. I find it in the smaller things. I find it too overwhelming. I'll be in a party for like 3 hours and I'm like, oh my God. Partying and clubbing, I get it. A lot of people love it. If you're the type who likes to be alone, don't be forced into it, man. Don't. And point 6, the final point, is work, work, work. Why do I say work, work, work? Because it's important to work. And then overworking is work, work. If you're getting stuff done and it's helping your future, it's good. But if you just work, 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 just because you're expected to work, 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 it's not good to work, work, work. I feel like with younger people, it's like you're in school or you just left school, get a full-time job at Subway or something like that. The thing is with working at Subway like that, yes, you're going to make quick money and you're going to have money to spend on stuff. You're probably going to be spending it at the clubs, but it's not building your future. I feel like, 19, 20-year-olds working quick jobs, they're working pretty low down jobs, but they're earning more than a lot of other people their age. That's just because you're young and you haven't climbed that social ladder yet. But the thing is, a lot of these people who are driven but aren't working these jobs all the time, they got shit going on in the background. They're building themselves up to be bigger than what they are at the moment. And in 10 years, you might be working for them. So yeah, of course, like I said at the beginning, it's important to make money and it's important to pull your own. But if you're building your own business, you think it's going to work, you research everything properly, you don't need to be working heaps. If you can afford to live without it, live without it. Because honestly, you're going to thank yourself a lot more when you're older, your body's not as decayed, and you've earned more money because you've built something up yourself instead of working long hours for other people your whole life. So yeah, those are just some tips for younger people around my age, left school, uni, that sort of age. Those are just my societal tips that I've just been thinking of recently, because I've always been the type of person who's like, I'm not going to be pushed into that box, So yeah, take it as you will. I hope you've learned something today. I'm not a scholar or anything. I just observe and I talk about it. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. Thank you for coming today. I hope you have a good day. It is a sunnyish day here in Caloundra. And see you next time I drop.